Charlie Kirk's name was one of the most recognized in conservative politics over the past decade. To some, he was a fresh and fiery voice for America's younger generation. To others, he was a symbol of deepening polarization. But regardless of perspective, his rise was meteoric, and his end was shocking. Early life: Charlie Kirk was born in 1993 in the suburbs of Chicago, Illinois. Raised in a middle-class family, he didn't attend college, a choice he later framed as a badge of honor. In his teenage years, he gravitated toward politics with a sharp eye for media and persuasion. At just 18, he spoke at the Republican National Convention, setting the stage for a career that would focus on connecting young people to conservative ideals. Founding Turning Point USA. In 2012, at the age of 18, Kirk founded Turning Point USA, TPUSA, a nonprofit aimed at bringing conservative politics to high school and college campuses. What began as a small effort soon ballooned into one of the most visible and well-funded youth political organizations in America. TPUSA hosted conferences, trained young activists, and became famous for its bold campus posters and slogans. Through TPUSA, Kirk tapped into a generation that felt alienated by progressive culture on college campuses. With financial backing from major donors, the organization grew rapidly, eventually employing hundreds of staffers and organizing national events with thousands of attendees. Rise in media: Kirk wasn't just an organizer, he was also a communicator. He launched The Charlie Kirk Show, a podcast and radio program, which quickly gained a large following. His interviews with conservative leaders, commentaries on U.S. politics, and daily hot takes made him a fixture in right-wing media. His style was often sharp, confrontational, and unapologetically partisan. He built a strong alliance with Donald Trump and became a vocal defender of Trump's policies. During and after the 2016 election, his profile surged, cementing him as one of the most recognizable young conservative voices in the country. Influence and controversy. Kirk's influence was undeniable. He cultivated a brand of activism that blended college culture wars, patriotism, and populist politics. He frequently appeared on Fox News and spoke at political rallies across the U.S. But with influence came controversy. Critics accused TPUSA of spreading misinformation and of fostering a combative political environment. Kirk was often criticized for fiery statements on immigration, elections, and social issues. Still, his supporters saw him as someone who refused to bow to political correctness. Later years and expanding reach. By the 2020s, Kirk had become more than just a campus activist. He was a political influencer with a national platform, commanding millions of social media followers. He continued to host major events like TPUSA's America Fest and partnered with other conservative voices. In 2025, his organization was preparing for another presidential election cycle, making him a central player in shaping young conservative voters. The tragic ending. On September 10, 2025, Charlie Kirk's career and life were cut short in a shocking act of violence. During an event at Utah Valley University, he was shot and killed. The attack sent shockwaves across the nation. For many, it was unthinkable. A man so young, only 31 years old, gone in an instant. News of his death spread quickly. Supporters mourned him as a warrior for conservative values, a leader who had devoted his short life to his cause. Critics, even those who opposed his politics, expressed shock at the violence, emphasizing that political differences should never be settled with bullets. Legacy. Charlie Kirk's legacy is complicated and still being written. He built one of the most influential conservative youth organizations in America, inspiring tens of thousands of students to engage in politics. He also embodied the polarization of modern American life, becoming a lightning rod for both admiration and criticism. His death leaves behind questions. What will become of TPUSA? Who will carry the mantle of youth conservative activism? And what lessons, if any, will America draw from yet another act of political violence? Conclusion. Charlie Kirk lived only 31 years, but in that time he made an outsized impact. He was a provocateur, an organizer, a broadcaster, and a voice for a movement that saw itself fighting against the cultural tide. Whether one admired or opposed him, there's no denying that his story is part of the larger story of America's political battles in the early 21st century. His life was a testament to the power of conviction and the volatility of our times. And his death, a tragic reminder of the dangers that come when political passions turn deadly.